Oh,
Is this thing on?
It is now.
are we live?
How's it going, guys?
Oh, same shit, different day.
Not bad. What have you dragged me into?
We're short fused. And you guys are used to what would people have been calling us? The Bert and Ernie of
Yeah.
game development.
Yep.
And nobody will tell me if I'm Bert or Ernie.
If you have to ask,
Yeah.
I must be Bert then, huh?
if you have to ask,
Can I be Big Bird?
you are Big Bird.
Better than Elmo. If you guys
Elmo
haven't met this guy before, this is you know him online as, what are you, Night Ranger,
Nighthawk, even though I barely comment. I really should. I'm going to comment more.
You should.
My New Year's resolution
You're a little busy.
Well, just in case anyone watching who can hear a child having a meltdown, that is a child, a 7-week-old baby having a meltdown. So I do apologize for that.
Can't hear a thing.
Good.
But I'm also 55 and have no ears left, so
that's a good point.
Yeah, way too much heavy metal in my life.
You have them. They exist.
Well, I have them. So what's up with you guys? What's news?
What's news? Oh man, I'm having fun. I'm in Game Engine land today. I'm actually doing stuff.
What?
Which is way cooler than working on server bullshit. And writing code that no one will ever see, hopefully.
What game engine?
Well, so I am testing out if our multiplayer stack will work in Unreal 5.5.
What? No more Unity?
That's Unreal.
No more Unity. I wouldn't go that far. I would say that there's a potential. Some things that are just going to be a bit easier and a bit more polished in Unreal Land.
So, how pretty will our characters look in Unreal?
That will be interesting. So far, we've only ever seen it in
as pretty as our tech artists can make them.
Which will be very, very, very pretty.
That's true. He's pretty good at this stuff. So,
well, and Big Money is in the middle of like some crazy guerrilla warfare Unreal camp.
Yeah.
So,
I heard he has to camouflage.
Yeah. He's drinking from the double fire hose. So that's a lot of fire hose.
Yeah, the Unreal team, they kidnapped him, bag over head and all, and drug him up to wherever and stuck him in a room and said, "You're going to learn this for 6 weeks or whatever."
We got sent his severed finger, so we assume that everything's all right.
But it wasn't his mouse clicking finger, so he's okay.
That's a good point. Yeah.
He can still do the work.
As long as it's not his thumb, we're all good.
Yeah, we're all good.
There's no rest at Short Fuse, even if you're missing appendages.
Oh, God, no.
All right.
So, I always lose focus on the window I want to click. It's the worst possible thing about driving these.
It's a very complex process, Chris.
I know. Which one's in focus? It's really hard. So anything you guys really want to, you want to dump on the community this week? Anything?
If we're looking at the slide, then I think it's worth addressing the trailer. Who did the deck?
Wow, he's calling you out.
It's calling me out.
You know that's
it's either Chris or Taco. And if it's Chris, I know where you live, Chris, and I will be coming to your house.
What did Taco say?
He said, "Who did this deck? The logo is clashing with the characters." Man, calling you out.
Well, here, dude.
Did you not hear about the 7-week-old baby? I'm trying, man. Okay.
Oh,
I
so
can fix that. I can fix that. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Ooh, fancy magic stuff.
Yeah. Sorry, this program oddly enough doesn't allow you to put the bug in the lower thirds, which is, if you have ever done television, that's where bugs live, is the lower right corner. Anyway,
I actually thought this program's quite good, but that's beside the point. So we're kind of making up a trailer at the moment. For the game, kind of giving a taste of what we want to deliver, the kind of vibes, the mouthfeel, if you will. So really looking forward to starting to leak stuff from that. You'll be able to see some of the crazy characters we've been working on.
Yep.
It's a nice twist on what's come beforehand, I think, and I'm really excited about that. Like, it does something a little bit different, which is great.
I admit I was really impressed on the rough that you showed me on Monday, and the ads to the rough trailer that some of you have seen, the old trailer, all of a week old. The ads were all worked, and that all the changes worked, and yeah, I'm super excited. Way better than I ever expected.
That's good. And Elliot's done a fantastic job, actually. Like, this isn't their background, and learned so much, and really pushed themselves on it. And it just looks great. Really, really good. Really
amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's going to be really fun. I'm really looking forward to just building out a bit of a world with this, building out a bit of a story. And Chris, you've written some great stuff as well, and it's going to be fun to build this. Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah, and I have to actually apologize, guys, because I haven't been writing on the computer. I've gone old man pen and paper style, so you guys are a couple of days behind.
Wow,
where I am, here. But it'll all get in there somehow.
I'm actually looking around my desk. I'm trying to find a pen, or remember the last time I held a pen. It might be. It might have been last year.
So this podcast is just going to be about talking about pens in the future, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So guys, I've got an excellent sign pen here. Really good thickness, really good girth on the.
No, I have a very specific pen I use. I use the Precise V5s.
Oh, that's a nice
pen. For years.
Very nice fine liner.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Where I just
so I can be very fine lined of chicken scratch that only I can read.
Have you considered the Stablo Fine 0.4?
I have not.
Oh, well, we'll talk
And
about that later.
I'm not laughing, but this actually does make a difference. There are definitely I can't use a ballpoint pen, just like a Bic. I can't. Ugh.
What? I think it's all I
do pencils though.
Mm.
Usually mechanical these days, but I do usually keep a pencil around for things that I know I'm going to have to erase and stuff.
But to try and lasso this back to some storytelling.
We are telling stories about
our pen chat. Even though I like the pen chat, but that's probably for a different pen cast, Yeah, but the stuff you've written is very exciting, actually, and it allows us to do a lot of fun things in the future and a lot of different things. And I think that's the key point: different things. It allows us to branch out a little bit.
So,
yeah.
So one of the things that, the conversations that especially the three of us have had, and over the past, month or so was, we all have our thing of this project that we really like. Right. And, and Matt wrote an intro, kind of pointing to the things that he wants in a story. Right. An ecological disaster, evil empire, evil corporation. but he also wanted something that wasn't like we're going to end up fighting, you know, a big mecha robot at the end or some bullshit like that,
Yeah.
right? We wanted something a little bit more nuanced. So I took that, and I know that George, you're like, don't limit us on, you know, characters that we can build or genres that we can, right? And I'll admit, you know, for about a week I struggled with that because I was like, well, where the hell do I put that and not feel like Marvel Comics, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of multiverse out there right now. Then I was like, luckily for me, I was like, I happened to turn Tron on and was like, oh, it's staring us in the face. Like, we're making a video game. Let's just go meta. We're in the video game world. And then going back and looking at all the games that we as a generation have grown up on, it's so rich and bizarre. Like people forget like how bizarre arcade games were.
It was
Like,
the weirdest thing in the world. Like
yeah.
beating the shit out of a car in Street Fighter.
Yeah.
That's the weirdest thing in the world. Like, imagine just doing that now. But like, they become like cultural touchstones, and like, you know, you remember them because they're so weird.
And that would never ever get in now because
No.
there'd be the what's the ROI of the car beating screen? Like how much extra money is that particular thing going to bring in? And it's like nothing. It's just fun to beat the shit out of a car.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, and like there are games from back then that like I've been looking at like Bad Guys and stuff, and you know, essentially systems wide, they're all kind of the same, right? Like, you know, there's a melee guy, there's a ranged person, right? There's a big dude, right? Like there's definitely, you know, things that almost all the games have. But back then it was like, it's a weird mouse guy wearing sneakers and a kimono.
Yeah.
Like anything went, right?
And
Just like kind of freeing and exciting to go back and look at that era. And, you know, like I know some people in the community were concerned that we were going to do like direct rips off of things from back then, but no, it's much more about what did you call it? You just call this the trailer something. It's about the mouthfeel, right?
Yeah.
That's just going to be a short fuse thing, I think, from now on. But like that's what it's like. It's like you'll instantly recognize where these characters came from, and maybe not, right? I think one of the things that I'm finding now is I've connected my MAME machine, and and I've been starting to like kind of go through a lot of lesser known stuff that I've not even seen in all my years. And what's coming up is like there's some deep cuts that we can do like a nod or a wink to that like one person is going to recognize and be like, oh my god, because that thing like has 500 side scrolling, you know, beat 'em ups that I'm looking at right now. You know, like things that never made it to the States, you know.
But the other thing I really like about this kind of direction is, you know, we're launching this into, you know, the Web3 space, and Web3 space in itself has so many different like NFT collections and all that kind of stuff as well. And I've always enjoyed like the community part of Web3 and like reaching out to other creators and other collectives and you know, working with them. That was fantastic. And shut up.
No, you're absolutely correct. And that was the thing that I wanted to make sure, right? Because we're talking like old video games right now, but like if you actually look at some of the things I was writing this morning, is I'm actually folding in now properties that are public domain, right? All those worlds exist too, right? Like this cataclysm that we're dealing with, like it wasn't just video games. It also hit film. It also did books, right? Like everything fictional is living in some weird meta in my head, I guess. But again, it was one of those things that we were looking at pretty hard at the last place of like, you know, Wizard of Oz and Winnie the Pooh and Cthulhu and Tarzan, and you know, there's all these amazing universes to be able to pull from
Mm.
that won't get us into trouble. There's a bunch that we can pull from and get in trouble if we really
Oh
want.
yeah.
Like, let's do Star Wars and get sued to oblivion. But, you know,
Or maybe we make a Star Wars game so good that George Lucas has no, like, he just has to buy it. Like, maybe we're the one that's like, he's like, yeah, this is a rip of my IP, but I'm buying it because it's so freaking amazing. And we all become billionaires.
Well, there you go. It's already planned out. It's great.
Yeah.
and
That's how we make our money.
Yeah.
and one of the other things that, you know, we've all talked about was, you know, looking at other NFT collections, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, and doing partnerships that way. And, you know, so it's like we create this universe that's a giant siphon for, you know, things that other people have done, and, you know, become a little playground for them.
Mm. Absolutely. And it's not just like, you know, collections, it's people within the space as well. You know, for example, I don't know what you've talked to people about, so I'm probably just like putting my feet in.
Hey, so here's the freeing thing.
Mm.
We're it, man. So you can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
All right, then let me start. All right.
Yeah.
Because I've
Get
got
it all out. Get it all out,
wild
boy.
opinions. No, but like, you know, we created, you know, just out of interest, a Mr. Wookie, Dr. Wookie. Sorry, Mr. Wookie to his his family. Dr. Wookie, and, you know, being able to this art style is versatile, and that's what I always liked about this. Is, you know, we have what I consider to be the best voxel artist in the known universe, and her ability to boil down the essence of a character in a small amount of voxels is incredible.
Oh, it's amazing.
And at no point has any kind of character ever stumped her, you know. And
Yeah.
we always like work through things. If Tofu's listening to this, you were saying about a platypus the other day, and out of interest, we started creating a space platypus, like a platypus in space, and it shouldn't work, but it works. And at some point, I will show you. But I swear I said that about something else a while ago. So maybe it'll just be added to the pile. But yeah, that's what's exciting about it, is that we can work and collaborate with so many other people in the space as well as like all these, the mouthful of all these previous games, and you know, genres as well, like not just games, specific games, it's genres too. Yeah, that's cool. Very cool.
Yeah, so first game out is an ARPG, but, you know, who knows what's number 2 and number 5, and, you know,
Yeah.
and I'll admit that, you know, if you told me, you know, voxel style art is the way to go 2 years ago, I would have laughed at you, right? I was sort of like, oh, I'm stuck with this. But I've become such a firm believer just because of like that it just accelerates the whole process.
It really does.
And, you know, it removes one of the biggest barriers in game design, which is the art pipeline. And, you know, we've kind of nailed that part. So
absolutely,
I'll stick with it forever now, right? I've become like a, you know, an absolute disciple of the voxel.
You know, it'd be great, like a voxel RTS, a good classic RTS, you know.
I mean, I'm down.
Right,
I've got a few in the can. Like I've got a few ideas for that.
There's a couple of really good retro RTSs that are coming out. Actually, one of them's coming out this month. Can't remember the name of it. I have it downloaded though. It's very much Command and Conquer 2025. And
cool.
So let's see if there's the interest, right?
Yeah, true.
And you know,
but that's the thing, the voxel style works so well, and you had like that depth of field, that kind of, you know, making them look like tiny little miniatures running around. Just imagine a small army of, oh, that'd be excellent. Oh,
Uh, yeah. Well, let's get the Warhammer rights, right?
Oh,
That's what you
I
really
told-
want.
I told
you.
That's what you really want, right?
yeah.
I really don't make me read those books. There's way too many of them. There's
I have
no.
read. I have read an embarrassing amount of Warhammer books. It's
No.
terrible.
Oh god, the lore for Warhammer is way too deep. I've told you guys this before, but I'll say it here. I always wanted to get into 40K, but every time I did, everyone was like, "Well, you actually got to start. You got to start with the books, and then you got to read the magazines. Then you got to do the whole." It's like, Jesus, no.
It's a very simple premise. Everyone's racist towards each other in space.
Basically. I've been trying to play Rogue Trader, and the lore is so deep that I'm just kind of going with it. But I don't, and it's really funny is that I don't have the Warhammer mindset.
Yeah.
Right? So I keep making what I would personally do, and it's abjectly the wrong decision almost every time because they're like, "Why are you being a jerk?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that.
There's no nice guys in the 40s.
Yeah, that's
No
what I'm
nice
kind of
guys.
learning.
Yeah.
I just have to embrace my inner selfish child, I guess.
I guess.
Pens.
Matt, you want to bring us up to date on the crypto side of things here?
Yeah, so we announced our Fusebox NFT collection. It'll be 4 tiers: founder, collector, member, and supporter. The max cap for those have been announced. Founders at 400. It's 400, 1200, 3200, and then unlimited for the supporter tier. The first 3 tiers are the only ones who enter the rewards pool. The supporter tier is just for basically think of it like a battle pass. You get NFT drops, you get collection stuff, you get access to all the meta game stuff without access to the rewards pool. Rewards pool works kind of like this. Every day there's transactions in game. Those are counted up. 60% of whatever we made in game goes into the rewards pool and gets distributed on the top 3 tiers. 40% goes to us to keep the game running. That way the community is always benefiting. You get into the rewards pool by owning, like I said, one of the top 3 NFT tiers, and you have to play the game that day. It's a daily distribution, and you have to play. You have to be in game. You have to complete something, quests, tasks. We'll figure out what the minimum requirement is. But if you don't play that day, you don't get into the reward pool that day. So it's all about benefiting those who are active in the community and bringing more people into the community.
Mm-hmm. And luckily, the game is going to be really fun. So,
yeah. I don't want to make a game that isn't fun. That's not what I wanted to do ever.
A good gameplay loop.
Yeah. And you know what? What's more fun than RPGs?
I can't think of anything.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Sex.
Nope.
So crude.
Nope.
We were alluding.
Yeah. So that's basically it. I ran through that really fast, but if you want the details, go to our Discord.
And we're announcing sale prices and whatnot next week, right?
Yeah. Should be Monday or Tuesday.
Alrighty.
I want some of the world things to maybe calm the fuck
Calm down.
Sorry, can I swear here? I actually don't know.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want here.
I'm in a weird mood today, so my
Did
ADD.
you swear? I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
But,
seem
you
pretty
know.
normal. Yeah.
My ADD's kicking in hard today. So if you see
New
me moving
engine, new
around a lot,
toys.
new
Yeah.
new engine, new toys. I
Yep.
literally, man, I was so mad last night. I was grinding on some stuff, and I'm like, you know what? This would be so much easier if I was working in Unreal. And I said, screw it, let's do it. So,
I hear that.
Do you hear that?
baby,
She's just jealous. She wants to be in here.
yeah, I get it.
Yeah. She's got a lot to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do, and
They
that
do.
it doesn't stop. My 2-year-old has a lot to say to me all the time.
It does stop. They around 16.
Yeah, they didn't want to talk to you.
Right. They still have a lot to say. It's just not to you.
True.
That's true.
I don't even know if mine's home right now. I haven't heard him in hours. The last I knew is he went out to feed the ducks.
Hey, that's good. That's a good life.
Yeah.
When that's an option for your day, like if what do you want to do today? Go feed some ducks. I'm done with that. That's a pretty good like Thoreau kind of
Thoreau kind of, well, Thoreau's from right here, man. So,
yeah.
Things are going quite well if you're just going out and feed the ducks, I think.
Yeah.
I was mildly jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had a question for us. I guess it didn't make it in the slides, but the question is, who's your inspiration, or what is your inspiration?
Well, apart from you two, every day. Actually, I better think of an actual answer here. Personally, my inspiration is the memory of the games I used to play as a kid and how they made me feel, and the sense of like joy and interest that those games brought to me. And it's whether or not games used to be different back in my day, or whether or not it was the wide-eyed excitement of a child. But I remember like poring over details, and Hutch. Hutch is my inspiration and always will be. Thank you, Hutch. But poring over details, reading manuals, looking at maps, like all these kind of things that used to come with games. That's like, I want to try and get back to that point where there were secrets and there were hidden things. There was a lot of love, I feel like, back in the old days with games. It wasn't about making game 1, game 2, game 3, game 4 every year, slight variation of each other. Yeah, I'm coming at you, Call of Duty. But it was just a bunch of people that seemed to really just want to sit down and make something quite cool, make something quite fun. And that's the inspiration for this, for me personally. Like just making a load of cool things, which the younger me would have really enjoyed, or really found interesting, at least. Nice. And Hutch.
Always Hutch. Yes.
What about you, Matt?
Aside from Hutch?
Yeah, aside from Hutch.
Okay, so Hutch is my hero. But no, who I look to the most is Team Sonic. Those guys, they knew that they were on the B side of consoles. Sega always came out second best, sometimes even third or fourth best. But those guys took the hardware that they had and literally made it work and made some of the best games out there. I don't care how popular your Marios are. Put them up against like actual Sonic games, and they don't match. The speed, the actual ability to animate, the sprite designs, they're literally, they were the best for their time. They were just on crappy platforms.
That side-scrolling worked in Sonic was a minor miracle.
Yeah, 3 layers.
Yeah.
No one was doing 3-layer stuff.
It was
Yeah, they're easily my top. Like when I look to do what we're trying to do, that's who I'm looking at. And because it's kind of it kind of fits us too. We're trying to enter a world that is really kind of considered second, third, or fourth best in Web3 gaming, and we're trying to build something really unique and cool.
I think that's key, isn't it? We're trying to build something, and we're trying to build something fun. Like that's the focus. Like and especially in this kind of space, like perhaps that's not always the case. And
I know it's
you
not.
can say
I'll just call it
exactly
out
what
right
you
now.
need.
It's not. It forever since it started, it has been considered the place you go and grab money.
Yep.
But I want to build games here. I want to build the ecosystem.
And the things that Web3 allows us to do in that is really interesting.
Yeah, totally.
And maybe we can go into like what we find interesting about that in another one.
Oh, definitely.
Another question, because I think that'd be quite cool.
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah, what about you?
What inspires me?
Well, Hutch, of course.
Gotta start with Hutch.
Right. Other than Hutch, who is actually very inspiring, I will say. In the game space, it is going to be super cliche. I just love building games. I've been doing it since I was 9 years old, and there's nothing better. Right. I just love this space. I love thinking about the problems that, creep into it. And one of the things that over my career, both in and out of games, what I've discovered is the game space has a lot of smart, intelligent people that work in it. And it makes it very easy to go to work. Right. Because you have people that are just, smarter than you are. And that makes it really easy to go to work. When I look at like what is my inspirations, I think it changes for me with every title. I think right now I'm definitely having a very deep nostalgia kick, and it's been it's becoming a lot of fun. There's games that I'm looking at right now I haven't picked up in 25 years, and they're still good. There's full genres that we used to spend our lives playing that just don't exist anymore, right?
Yep.
And it's really kind of fun to dive back into them a little bit.
That could be a fun thing for this as well. Just we all bring a show and tell of just like, this is the retro game that I have really enjoyed.
Shoot, I've been playing the Switch just released on their Super Nintendo emulator. They released all the Koei games, the simulation games. So I've been playing a lot of Romance of the Three Kingdoms 3 and Nobunaga's Revenge, which me and my buddy used to play on his Super Nintendo. We recently booted up a multiplayer game of that, and that's been just so much freaking fun to go back and see how deep the simulation was for that little 16-bit chip, man. They got a lot of math in there.
Well, again, it's, what's happened in modern gaming, soapbox time, is everybody just chases the graphics card, right?
Yep.
And look, man, don't get me wrong. Like Assassin's Creed Shadows it's gorgeous. It's one of the best looking games I've ever played. Very impressive. But how much did that sacrifice gameplay, right? Yep. And back then it was like, well, this is all we can get out of the graphics card, right? But we have all this extra room for math and for systems, and because that's cheap comparatively to graphics. And so, back then you had the ability to do some pretty deep stuff, but your
Dude, they
presentation.
fit the whole game here.
Right,
So
right,
this
right.
Is for this is a 9K from Super Nintendo.
Right.
Like they fit it all on this.
Did you just rip that out of something, or is that your main card?
I've got a pile of these things. I do a little bit of hardware work. So
ripping apart things.
Yeah, it goes in here. It's nice case.
I think one of the things that like I look back on and it's like, and maybe I'd have to go back and check this, right? But like my mind's eye remember is like Privateer being like this crazy deep trading game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we just got Starfield last year, and for some reason in my head, Privateer still feels better. Now I might go back and play Privateer if I can find it working and be like, no, it was all in my mind, right? But
isn't that even more powerful? Like it might have not been that deep, but it felt infinitely deep.
right.
That's
there's the
incredible
indie
design.
There's the indie, rule, right? Is sometimes don't show it is the better thing to do.
Yes.
All right. So do we have any questions from our audience this week?
Well, let's see. Do live questions. I'm not seeing any.
I was just checking out that Congregation of the Bones thing.
So yeah, this was Reverse Bones from our community. Runs this Congregation of the Bones community, and I really wanted to check this out because what it looks like, and I've only spent maybe 3 minutes reading this, is it looks like a writer's community for writing novels and short stories and microfiction. And I am so interested in seeing if there's a partnership there.
And the art as well is interesting. We can definitely
it really is
play around with something like that.
So yeah, go reach out to us and let's talk about it. Reverse Bones.
Very cool.
There's no real questions this week.
Come on, guys.
Give me something.
So, when do we expect to have the trailer?
Soon. Very soon.
My favorite answer.
What does soon mean?
It means when it's done.
When it's done.
Yeah, but like you, Chris, you're coming from a place of knowledge. I still have yet to see it. Like I keep getting denied for reasons.
It's more teasing you, really.
It really is. You also know that I'm more likely to throw it out to the community than anyone. So
that might be part of the thing.
Because if I like something, I tend to share it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I did. Oh, Chris, do we have the game logo up? We'll show that.
We will show that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. 1 second.
More details regarding the game. Give us a bit on that. Basically, what you know is what you need to know right now. But I do want to show the logo because I think it is beautiful. Boom. Fracture point. I do really like that.
I bet someone really handsome designed it, actually.
I don't know.
That's what I'm kind of getting about this, yeah.
Hutch didn't design it, so...
So, George, did you notice the thing I pointed out? This.
Yeah, I couldn't see what you were saying about this.
Yeah, check the
little devil. You see his little horns, and like how our brains always fill in
it's got the horn. It's got
the little,
in
two
the
little
black.
horns on the side there.
Yeah.
Put the negative space.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Somebody brought up that we should do the skull bomb in there.
Mm.
And then when they said that, I looked at it. I'm like, oh, there's a devil face already there. So
I did actually have a little skull underneath the T as like a full stop. What do you guys call a full stop? Period.
Yeah.
Huh. America's weird.
Is that an American thing?
what?
Wait a minute.
What?
Hold on.
What?
Oh, I need to know that's not what you guys call it.
A full stop.
A period?
You guys call it a period, right?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is that really? Okay, we got to get some confirmation on this because you're about to blow my mind. You guys really don't you don't call it a period?
No. Stop the recording.
Yeah, I don't understand. I didn't know that we changed the word of.
Well, you guys, for some reason, took it really personally when you left us and decided to change everything.
Well, actually, it was after that. It was so the American Dictionary was 1820 or so, and it was basically right after you burned down the White House. That kind of settled it. Was that we needed an American dictionary to rip out all the English normalisms. Yeah.
True.
So that
And the
was
lessons in school are not called periods either.
No.
So you don't have first period, second period, third period. What are they called?
Breaks.
but
Right.
like
We call things that make sense. Like a full stop is like stop.
Well, a period is a period of time.
Yeah. Okay. We'll agree to disagree.
And full stop sounds like you're talking on a walkie-talkie, like, right? What's your vector, Victor? Right? Over.
Good point. I mean, I want walkie-talkie now. But
Do
yeah,
they still make walkie-talkies?
I'm sure they do.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure they do. Do kids play with them anymore? I don't know.
No, they just pick up their freaking phone.
We had walkie-talkies.
Back in our day, there's been a lot of that on this.
Yeah, well, dude,
Yeah.
just
Getting
can't get
old.
away from it.
I remember when all this was forests. Right.
All right. Although, when I take my trip out there, George, you're gonna have to take me to Sherwood.
You know what, Chris? I don't think in the many years of living on this planet, I don't think I've ever been to Sherwood Forest. But
Well, I know
all
it takes somebody from somewhere else to go. It's like
Mhm.
I've never been to Thoreau's house,
Mhm.
even though I worked 3 blocks from it.
You can wear your tights. I wear my tights. It'll be great.
Well, if you're wearing tights, I'm gonna come.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there. I'll be
Well,
there.
this is a tight party. I'm
He
coming.
makes a joke
Yeah.
about that, but I have to say that Errol Flynn opening scene in Robin Hood is one of my favorites of all time, where he just comes in with the deer and just like plops it on the King John or whatever his name is, his table. Like it's just so badass, even if he is wearing tights.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Hutch is right. You don't want to go to the north. Just keep along the south coast. It's rough up north.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drive coast to coast, man. If I ever come out there,
It'll
just
take
because
10
I can.
minutes. You realize that?
No.
He's-
Up north. Right? You're not that small.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I did ask Hutch actually last time, and then we can go. But I did ask Hutch last time, and I said, "So if I go out there, should I go to Liverpool?" And he was like, "No, just flat no."
Sounds fun.
Good luck.
All right, I can see that you're being paged.
There's something happening over there. So I need to drop out. But
All right.
All right.
gentlemen,
All right.
it's been a pleasure.
All right,
Until
Bye.
next
see
time.
you all next week,
Yeah.
and
How do we get out of this?
we just go
Just leave.
peace out, man.
Okay.
do it.
All right.